Now, if you'd bought one of these tube screamers 40 years ago and simply put it in a drawer and forgot about it, then that pedal would have actually been worth more money today than if you'd put the same amount of money in a cash savings account. This video is not financial advice, but I am a dumb guitarist who has seen some trends, and it's one of those things that not a lot of people talk about, but I feel like it's an important topic that just doesn't get covered. Guitar gear can genuinely act as a long-term investment, which of course is the best news ever to guitar players because we are addicted to gear. However though, only if you understand what you're buying and how the market behaves. Now, over the last few years, there's been a lot of scary headlines saying about how the gear market is collapsing and no one's buying any guitars anymore and it's all going to fall through. And of course, recently with the whole US tariff situation, everyone's assuming that prices are going to be hiked up. But the actual data is saying that the opposite is happening. The best source for this information has to be the Reverb Price Index. And if you've never heard of it, it's basically the stock market tracker, but for guitar gear. So it's not based on guessing, it's based on the used sales data of millions and millions of transactions. So the used electric guitar market actually peaked in 2022. You can see here there's a big spike there, and that's up 32% over the 2019 levels, which sort of makes sense because that's the tail off after all of the, the massive gear buying that was happening when everyone was stuck at home. It looks like though now the prices have stabilized. So today's prices are only about 10% below that peak, but it's still significantly higher than before the pandemic. Now, Gibson and Fender values are important to look at because they are the real test if you want to get a true reflection of what the market's doing. They're still sitting at around 20% above what they were in 2019. Now, from what we can see, PRS are actually the most, stable brand. There's not much volatility there at all. Whereas, Fender and Gibson had a huge spike during the pandemic and then afterwards, corrected back down. But PRS have just remained steady the whole time. So no, the market hasn't crashed. It's just reset into some kind of stability again. And this makes very good news for people that have bought smartly. Now here's where it gets fascinating. If you bought vintage Fender or Gibson, especially the older pre-80s models, you'd be sitting on some serious gains today. For example, 1961 Gibson SG Juniors, they're up 49% in just the last 12 months. That is outperformed a lot of the things where you typically put your money, especially just leaving cash in the bank. A late 70s CBS era Strat would be up 30% this year, and even refinished 50s and 60s Strats, they're up 35% recently. But here's where, this is what I didn't understand until doing the research for this video. The biggest surprise is that signature models and discontinued production runs, like the Johnny Marr Jaguar, is up 71% since 2019. The Fender road-worn 50s Telecasters are up by 80%, and the Epiphone Bonamassa Firebird more than doubled, which is pretty crazy. But the cream of the crop, the Squier Hello Kitty Strat, even after cooling slightly, it's still up 175% since 2019. So it just shows you here, if you do pick the right gear and you can sort of foresee if it's going to be discontinued, if the right artists are going to play it, if there's not enough production of it, is there just enough demand in the market, you can time it, buy it, enjoy it, and then flip it for more money, which is easy to do through Reverb nowadays. And I mean, that's meme gear. That's meme gear that's gone up 175% in, since 2019. That is just crazy. And not to get too nerdy, but that has outperformed most index funds. So you can enjoy playing a Hello Kitty Strat and make more money technically on the right, depending on what timestamps you look at, make more money than a lot of index funds. So that is bizarre. Now, what's interesting for us as a guitar pedal manufacturer, we have quite a unique perspective of seeing how our pedals then get resold on the used market after we've, made and completed the pedals and sent them out to you guys. Certain production runs of, for example, our limited edition fuzzes have been resold for over twice the price. No, in fact, 2 or 3 times the price in the past compared to what we would have sold them for originally. So it just shows that guitarists are sometimes unknowingly making an investment when they're buying new gear. But sometimes, obviously, a bit like a new car, you know, you could be very much buying an asset which no one cares about in a few years. Now, the other day, I stumbled across this feature. It's a new feature on the Reverb app, and it's the new Reverb collection tool, which is something that I've been waiting for years. Or not waiting for, but I've been looking for it in different ways. Like, I've always thought, oh, I should really back up my serial numbers on my old guitars. I should back up the serial numbers on my more expensive pedals. And I've never found a good, easy way to do that. So I've always just put it off. Whereas now, you literally go on, click what gear you have to track. We will choose an item. This is I don't know if you guys saw the video, but we did a collaboration with Reverb recently where we bought a Fender Princeton Reverb. So it's actually got that purchase on here. And boom, you can see the amp with the market's current valuation, which fluctuates depending on how the sales are going over time. So you might think, I don't want to sell that amp yet because I'm going to enjoy it for a good few years. But you know, if you see your amp going to, you know, twice the price you paid for it, it might sway you on wanting to sell it, and then you can buy a cheaper amp and just, you know, recycle your gear in that way. Also, you can go into that and then, you know, you can edit it, you can add your exact photographs of it, a description of it, you know, the actual condition, tags, other notes, you know, serial number. I mean, that's what I've been looking for years. So not many people know about this because it's a new feature. So you guys should go and check it out, download the app and start tracking your gear and databasing it so that it's safe in case you ever need that information in the future. So using that tool, you're actually tracking your gear like a smart asset, and you can see in real time your collection grow in value. Now, just to clarify, this video is sponsored by Reverb, but I actually went to them with the collaboration idea because I loved this tool so much. I think it's something that I'm going to be using for years now, and it takes all of the guesswork out of what your gear's actually worth. And the great thing is you can literally press sell on the collection tool and sell it in about 5 minutes if you decide to move it on. So anyway, yeah, next time someone's saying to you, oh, you've bought another guitar, you know, why are you wasting your money? Tube Screamer versus savings account, and what was it? The Hello Kitty Strat outperforming investment funds. You know, we're not talking about crypto madness here. We're talking about musical tools that slowly and quietly raise in value over time while you enjoy them, which of course is the best bit. Now, I'm not really sure if you guys enjoy these videos or not. Let me know if you do, and if you'd like me to dig a bit deeper and actually let you guys know what I would buy in 2025 to actually potentially scout something that might raise in price over time. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to Reverb for sponsoring the video. Definitely check out the Reverb app and the collection tool that they've recently integrated. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you in a bit, and cheers.